Hello and welcome to another game review, and this time I'm going to be reviewing Touhou Boushuen or Age of Ethanols. And this game was created by Neetpia, and this is a tribute to, well, as the name may give you a hint as, of a Western RTS game published or created by Ensemble Studios called Age of Empires. So what we have here, as the name may say, it's a combination of both Touhou and Age of Empires, and that is going to be a pretty interesting thing to see. So let's give it a try here on the skirmish mode. So in the skirmish mode we have several things to show. For example, these are the factions here, team names. We have, of course, map type, map size, how many computers, the computer's difficulty, easy, normal, hard, or lunatic, or practice. That is interesting. Probably speed, and several other options which I don't know since I cannot read Japanese, sadly. So yeah, these are the different factions. For example, we have the protagonist faction, of course, which is Rei, Numaris, and Suika. Then we have the Scarlet Devil faction, Sakuya, Remilia, and Flandre. Then we have the Netherworld faction, or the Perfect Cherry Blossom, which is Yuyuko, Yukari, and Yomu. Then we have the Unperishable Nightcast. Well, not actually Unperishable Nightcast. It's actually the Lunarians, which is Raizen, Eirin, and Kaguya, and so on and so forth. It goes with the Phantasmagorial of Flower View, which is Yamaksandu, Melancholy Medicine, and Komachi, and it goes through all the other Touhous that were previously made. Of course, we have the Mountain of Fate cast, the Subterranean Animism cast, the UFO cast, the Scarlet Weather Rhapsody cast. Of course, they added the Giant Catfish as a hero unit, which is actually pretty nice. The Great Fairy Wars cast, which are the 3 fairies, and Dalis has an entire faction for herself, which plays differently from the rest, and of course random. So we are going to give a try with my favorite game and cast, so it's the Subterranean Animism cast, and we are going to add a second computer here. So let's give it a shot here. Let's put my teams, and let's go. So I would like to show you several things from in-game. For example, the first thing you will actually notice as soon as you step into the game is the music. And the music in this game is very particular because I will let you guys to actually find out why. So we have these are our workers, and there's several things here. First, you will notice you will have your 3 resources here, and well, 4 and the population cap. Here the mushrooms would be the equal to wood on Age of Empires, which you can gather from trees. That is nothing weird about that. Here we have beer, which would be the equal to food on Age of Empires, which you can gather from these baskets here. And you have faith here, which can be gathered from these small temples, and you have to use your villagers to actually gather this stuff. And here are the buildings. These are homes, and building homes will increase your population cap by 5, and the maximum population cap I think is 200, which is a lot. Here is your upgrade center, or in this case it would be a hazer. Here you would be able to upgrade your hero units, your normal units, your general forge, or whatever game you played before. You would upgrade everything here. Here is your town center, which will have a limit of 1 right now, but on later difficulties we will gain more slots to create more town centers. These 3 circles would be your barracks. For example, the red one would be the melee barracks, the green one would be your ranged physical barracks, and the blue one would be the magical ranged barracks. And these three go in a rock paper scissors motion. For example, red beats green, green beats blue, blue beats red, and so on. And these are two walls. These walls are just, well, different from each other, of course. These blue ones, which I will create right now, they have low HP, I guess they will function as skates later on. And here's the armor, which has 8 to melee damage and 8 to ranged damage. And the other wall, which I'm going to create after this one is a solid wall. It has more HP, more armor, but the great disadvantage of this wall is that actually you cannot go through it if you own it. So in comparison to this one that has fewer HP and more and less armor, but you can go through it with your unit with this, which is pretty handy. So I'm going to create a couple of houses which would increase our cap. Let's create 3. And I'm going to get Oku out. Of course I hit the population cap, so I'm not able to create more units. And I'm going to send these ones to gather beer. I'm going to show. Here is where you can actually go to the next age or difficulty in this case. So for going to the normal age, I'm going to require 500 beer or food, which was on Age of Empires. I'm going to create the melee barracks here. Of course, on skirmish we start with a hero unit, which is in this case green, and here are her HP points, which are 150, 150. Her damage, which is 2, and her armor is 88. Of course, who owns it, which is myself in this case, and the team, which is team 1. Creating this. More wood in it. I'm going to create a haster, which would put my wood values to 0, almost. I'm going to create a couple of more of these orbs and I'm going to delay my mistake. Of course, if you haven't noticed yet, probably said it before, the music is actually a remix of the 3 heroes of the current faction you're playing. In this case, it would be the stage song of Rin, the boss song of Satori, and the boss song of Oku, which is pretty nice, and it goes differently for each faction. I don't know how it goes with Alice. Something else I have to point out: all hero units have special abilities after they upgraded to normal. For example, Rin has the ability to create some sort of burning aura around her, which causes all enemy units and buildings to take damage from it, and the radius increases per upgrade she gains. For example, you can upgrade her again on card mode or on lunatic mode, and the radius will expand or deal more damage as well. In Oku's case, it would be some sort of I think atomic aura that she cannot move, but all enemy units and buildings will take massive amounts of damage, and that is pretty destructive. I have no idea what Satori does. I tried, but I don't know what the hell she does. So because I'm unable to read Japanese, so probably, well, it does actually say in the tooltip, but I have no idea what it says. Of course, this is our ally, which plays as the protagonist cast. Her workers are different, of course, which are these sort of fairies. She's doing pretty well. And this would be her upgrade center, which is some sort of library. Well, not library, it's some sort of school. And buildings and all that stuff as well are different for the faction. That is a nice thing. Here it's our upgrade center. We have nothing yet. We have to wait till we are able to upgrade. And I'm going to create Oku here. Also, some other thing that I have to point out hero units on easy mode, they are all melee, and some of them become ranged after their first upgrade or so. For example, Oku will be melee on easy mode, but then on normal, lunatic and hard mode, she becomes ranged, and she is probably one of the few heroes that have a really big range. She can actually outrange the town halls, and she deals quite a lot of damage. But she is, as you can see, really slow. Really slow. This is our melee unit. So let's wait a little bit more for them to carry a little bit beer. Let's try to find our common enemy. Let's see. Probably it's over here. Because our ally went to normal mode. She's doing pretty well. Ah, yeah, right, because I changed practice, so it's not going to create it much. Because I require 500 beer. Some of the values here, for example, this attack, this is the armor, this is the range of the structure or unit, and this is the amount of units it can hold inside. Right now it has 0 out of 40, and that's a big amount of units it can hold. And these two little options here, one is to repair and the other one is to destroy. I will not click this one, of course, I'm not that dumb. I did before and that was quite a shame. Let's try to explore and see where our enemy is. Getting more beer. Something else I have to talk about is the netcode on this game. I played a little bit of multiplayer on this game. I played a couple of matches which I lost to someone that was really good. And these matches were like free for all, 5 players or 6 players. And they didn't drop or like lag at all. And these matches were average 1 hour, 1 hour 10. They were pretty long, so it was nice. Something else. All units and damage and everything has sounds, which in comparison to the previous trial that was shown by another person here in YouTube, it's pretty nice, and the UI is completely changed. Everything has a personalized UI. Like in contrast to the trial that had like a very Age of Empires kind of UI, which is very good, I have to admit. And all things have been remixed. Probably, for example, the network cast has like some sort of violin going on their theme. It's a nice thing. Now, probably going to show here. Well, we have enough beer to upgrade, so let's upgrade. The geyser hasn't. Yeah, normally it does. So our enemy trying to. Oh no, he's attacking our unit. Just leave it alone for a little bit. A lot of faith. You go to here. It's going to take a little bit. Now, some weak points that this game actually has, as I see it, it's on. If you have done the story mode, which is equal to the campaign mode, on some missions you actually get to pair up with an ally, and this ally actually doesn't behave like the AI does on skirmish mode. I mean, it doesn't gather any sort of resources, and it doesn't actually help you at all. It rarely throws any sort of troops, and the amount of troops it just throws is, I would say, like 3 or 4 melee units and probably 2 ranged greens and 3 magical casters, and that's it, and they get pretty easily wiped out. Hell, even if you are being attacked, because on those missions you actually are fighting off 2 people at the same time, you will have to actually do everything yourself, or you would pretty much lose. several times. Happened to me a couple of times actually. I actually suggest you play fully the entire story mode, mainly because of the last mission. The last mission is probably... I laughed a lot at the last mission, mainly because the enemy of the last mission is just absurd. I probably pictured it a little bit, but I didn't picture it in a game. And you guys have to actually play to actually understand what the hell I'm talking about. So 90 upgraded. So Geyser here, and we have new options. Here's to upgrade our heroes. Here's to upgrade our normal units like power, armor, HP. This is the radius of sight. And our walls, these walls here, can be upgraded. Let's upgrade Oku here. As you can see, she has 200 HP points, 2 power, 8 and 8 armor. Let's create a bit more of these guys, we'll actually require them. Can't wait to see how it upgrades. Upgraded. So now instead of 200 HP points, she has 320, 24 power, same armor, and now she has this new line, which is range. Now she has a range of 5. Later on later difficulties, she will have more range. I think she goes 2 and 2. For example, on hard, she will have 7, which by that point she can actually outrange the Town Hall. And then she gets 9, which is actually the highest range for a hero unit probably in the game. That is pretty nasty. And she also gained an ability which consumes points. Let's have her kill a little bit more to gain a little bit of points. And we gained 2 new buildings actually. This would be kind of like your towers on Age of Empires, and you have a limit of 5. So you cannot mass amount them around your base and turtle, which would be rather useless since there are several units that have range, the towers and town hall. And this new building here would be your equal to a farm on Age of Empires, in this case a brewery. Now, these breweries have a maximum storage of 5 villagers. Once you store these villagers inside the brewery, you are able to harvest brew, because it's infinite amount of brew here for some reason. So it's a nice thing when these beer products are gone, which happens to be quite often. You will have to actually create a couple of breweries. There's no limit to create them, so you can create like 3 or 4 and mass amount villagers inside them. And the geyser actually popped up a zombie fairy. This is good. I'm going to try and get a little bit more of this. Yes, Oku just shooting down these walls. After the enemy upgraded the walls. Nice. Let's upgrade these walls. So something else that I have to point out. The sound and all that kind of stuff is actually outside the game on a separate executable called, I think, config or something like that, which is rather a shame because I'd rather have everything included inside the game so that it would be easier and not really hard to understand. But I think that's okay, I guess. Oh, we have enough points. Time to use Abyss in Nova. So here we go. And this thing can actually destroy many things at the same time. And on later difficulties, of course, the radius and the damage becomes bigger, and that's quite awful. Of course, this point thing is to actually cast this spell when it's on cooldown. So it would take 250 points to actually cast it. So that's okay, I guess. To spam it and destroy several buildings. Let's quit this. well, of course I won because this is a practice. Yeah, network here. I'm going to show the network options last. He has to host and he has to join. This is probably something else that the author is developing right now, but it's not available yet. Of course, to host, you have to input the port. Of course, I use a typical 10800 port. And something else you can do, you can copy and paste directly the ports or IP that you want to join or host. For example, here to join. He's from a previous match I played. You could actually copy the entire line or port and you can just directly join. It's pretty nice. So, as a closing remark, the strong points of these games, of course, the music, the units. There's not a lot of units, but they are pretty original, let's say. And of course, they have the popular Touhou cast. And weak points, of course, the AI on story isn't that challenging. Something I talked about the options already. It doesn't support multi-languages, which of course there will be some sort of patch to include, let's say, English language, or someone else will create a patch to translate all the Japanese options in the game. And maybe it's a personal weak point. It doesn't have the human cast of a imperishable knight, which is Mokuo, Keine, and probably you can throw AQ there and you will have another faction. But that's up to the creator of this game. So yeah, we can probably expect later like some sort of expansion, since 10 Desires came out on Comiket of this year, which happened to be the same Comiket that this game came out, which happened 3 days ago, and this game is fantastic. So I wouldn't be surprised to have some sort of expansion with an entire new storyline. Who knows what will happen. But anyway, out of 10 I would score this game an 8.50. It's rather good and it's fun to play with your friends, so give it a try if you can. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you are able to get this game or buy this game, please by all means buy this game and support the authors. They would greatly appreciate it. Thank you and have a good day or good night wherever the hell you are in the world.